So good morning, everybody, and welcome for this wonderful meeting. I'm sure you're going to enjoy a lot these next days here in Miami. So I have an important mission today, and ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to say that this year I have the pleasure and the privilege and the honor to introduce our president, Charles Vollmer, known as Chuck. And I understand the risks involved once I am his predecessor, but I hope to keep it sharp. So Chuck then grew up in Middlebrook, Pennsylvania, where he had a very nice and important moments of his life with his family, doing gardening and playing with his neighborhood and all around. And as you can see here, since the very beginning, Chuck and Dad had a very important hairstyle that he would keep this for life. And some people would even say this is a perfect hairstyle, actually, so congratulations. And he inherited this for his whole life. At the age of 4, his family sailed to England in the Queen Elizabeth II, where he had the chance to win off his first prizes as a Caesar salad, yes, in a contest in the ship. So this was a remarkable moment of his life, for sure. And his first formal education at Rockaby School in England was probably very important. It's important to highlight too that during this part of his life, he had the opportunity to live in an international and multicultural environment, as I learned. And this probably was very important during his lifetime and also in what he does now, which he does very well and has this easy way of dealing with many people. And he also learned his discipline, where he was necessary to tip his hat to the mistress in the school. So this was an important point for sure. And very early in his life, he could give signals of his style too. He would be here, as you can see here, he would point out exactly to where he wanted to go. So he would be already very strategic at that moment. He would win a lot of prizes during his career. And he also would give some tips that he loves sports. And football is probably one of the best ones for him. So back in USA, with his first car here in the beach, and where I think nowadays he still loves to go and have some fun and relax, and climbing some trees around. And he also enjoyed a lot his lifetime during that moment with his family and his sister Debbie, as you can see here. So in the middle school, he graduated with honors, and he already could speak in public very well since that very beginning of his career. And as an Eagle Scout graduation in 1979, you can see he here with his sister Debbie, and also with his grandpa. That was probably one of the youngest Eagle Scout, just as his family, so following the steps of his grandpa here. At the age of 10, he was given this anatomy book, so an old guide, he keeps until these days. And probably this was one of the moments that maybe had turned and changed his life and he marked this for the rest of his life. So having a background and some people from his family that were already doctors, physicians before. So what I understood is that he devoured this book, and probably this was on the first moment he changed from maybe thinking of being a football player or something like that to saving lives. So very early in the school, he also did this pottery, showing the human anatomy, as you can see here. So in Germantown Academy High School in Pennsylvania, he also showed an important part of his lifetime. So he also enjoyed a lot of sports there. As you can see here, as I understood, he's the smallest one in the back. And probably thanks to this, and he didn't go very well at that moment with sports, so he probably helped him to come to medicine, as I think. And in Germantown, he also graduated with honors, as you can see here. So Chuck was honored with one of the prizes that his school would give at that moment for such young boys and girls. In 1985, he moved to North Carolina, where he graduated in 1989 with chemistry. He mastered chemistry. And by that moment, there's also an important point here, that he probably has some influence on that moment of his grandfather, that was a famous urologist that was graduated in that school. And even though in this moment he probably got a lot of influence on his sports choices, as we're going to see later. And another thing is that he had his first operated OR there. So he built his own OR, he painted the house and built his own OR. That's how he used it to call his room. And here a happy picture with his family in 1990, just after that moment, when he entered the medical school. So after an intensive studying period in medical school, as you can see here, he graduated in 1994, and his family was very proud, for sure. It was probably a very important and remarkable moment of his life. After that, he went to Washington University, and he did his general surgery residency, and graduated in 2000. And the final year, Chuck's surgical residence was spent doing research, which for sure helped him a lot during his career. After that, he completed his fellowship in HPB surgery in Toronto in 2003. And you can see here some of his colleagues. They are probably here these days. And from 2003 to 11, and 2003, he was offered his first job by our very known friend here, Dr. Mark Kellery. So Chuck stayed working in Beth Israel Deaconess Hospital in Boston for many years. And since 2011 to present, he's now working in the University of Pennsylvania as a professor of surgery, as you can see here with his nurse practitioner, Amy. During his career time, Chuck has received many prizes and recognition for his work. And as you can see here, just an example, when he received his traveling fellowship in 2008. He also has become an important leader when discussing pancreas cancer management, and also the safety and the quality of the surgeries all around the world. As you can see here, another example. And also always giving his input in everything that he could. Sometimes even if this is not from his field. I remember once in São Paulo, he participated in a colorectal liver metastasis that had nothing to do, but he would give his best opinion on that. So Chuck is a real leader in HPV surgery. As you can see here, he has many publications, peer-reviewed publications, more than 160 so far. He has been invited for many editorials. He has more than 28 book chapters, many presentations all around the world. He presented in more than 20 countries globally. And he's peer-reviewed for many of the most important journals on surgery in America and outside. At HPBA, he became a member in 2008, as you can see here, invited by Mark Kellery. And since then, he rised up his career in the association. He has been, just to let you know, Phil, He has been the chair of the membership committee. He has been the secretary, treasurer, and of course now he's our president, which we are very proud. This is another picture of him as a president-elect 2017 in the council meeting. And during all this time, and his family probably knows much better than everyone here, but we know a bit of it because we still see him very, very frequently. He would give a lot of talks and go all around the world, and especially here in Latin America, where he had the opportunity to visit and help the development of many national chapters in Latin America too. So you can see here, him in Colombia, Mexico, with some friends, of course, Argentina, Brazil. And one important step of his career in the HPB associations was the program chairs that he was very well skilled to develop and build during this period of time. So he is in São Paulo, when he were organizing the program from the IHPBA meeting. Here, another moment of these trips, and you can see here, in Porto Alegre, there was a funny moment that he arrived by plane, but his bag didn't arrive. I don't know if you remember that. So I think that was the first time I saw Chuck with unshaven beard and with the hair not so perfect. So this is another moment in São Paulo, Mexico, and many other places, America. And oops, this was the closing ceremony at the IHPBA meeting in São Paulo. And so this probably is very rewarding for him and very important for us too. But sometimes really you get tired, and that's we can see some moments like this during one of these trips here. So I think, and another important thing, that this program chair was he was feeling like this were his baby, and he was very hard and worked very hard to do his best during this period of time. And we are very glad that we had such a wonderful guy around us. Another remarkable moment of his life during his HPBA leadership was last year, when he was responsible for the retreat of our strategic planning in Boston. So we, with his leadership, developed the plan for the next 3, 4, 5 years for this association, which we all will be very glad about that, for sure. And he has many friends, some friends for life, since his high school periods and moments, and some new friends from his career and from our association too, as you can see here. His most important stress relief ways are, for sure, as I understood, by sports. So he loves sports, any kind of sports. And probably this is one of the most important teams, as I heard, in US. So he's a very important Patriots fan in US. And another sport he likes a lot is basketball. And he loves the Star Heroes team. And for those who don't know, as a Brazilian, I wasn't aware, but this is an intercollegiate team, very known here. But what looks weird, and I think that his son would agree with me too, is that a guy from Pennsylvania, is a fan from the North Carolina team. So, but I hope, I'm sure he knows exactly what he's doing. And but this is a very important thing for him, sure. So he also has some hobbies. And by what I got, he loves a perfect garden. And it comes probably since his very early childhood, when he was learning, and probably with a lot of push from his father that helped him a lot to have this hobby and make him very relaxed when he does this kind of stuff. And I didn't know, but you probably didn't know that your president, Dr. Wimmer, loves music too. He likes a lot of pop and rock, and he loves Maroon 5. And one of his friends during his a nice trip to New York just said that he would sing and maybe even dance some nice music from that moment. So it's nice to see. And another important point for relaxing, he loves to relax on the beach, to play football with his kids, and playing board games, which keep family together, and is a very important moment for him. So, after all his career and scholarship and family achievements, he then met his wife, Elizabeth, here, and by the end of the college, then they got married. And after that, with a very happy family, they started growing up. So they had their first kid, Andrew, here, and then Julia, and then Eric, the youngest one, with nice moments. And he really enjoys, and he's really devoted to his family. And he really enjoys these nice moments, and he's really proud of everything they built together. Just to keep my position, I put this this picture, the blue family with the team. They are really fond of it. And a special mention to Beth here, because probably and for sure without all the support that all the family, and especially Beth, give for him, he wouldn't be able to do everything and all the achievements he has been getting during all these years of very hard work. So, and I'd like to just again, finally, thank for all and many testimonials and messages I received from many of his friends and colleagues that could make me understand and learn a lot of his life, and for sure I use many of the information I got from my life. And these are very important things, and like just to highlight a few of them. So he's a doctor of a doctor, so doctors trust on him to do. So it shows he's very professional, and he really a good and important one. He has been a very important researcher on quality and safety of pancreas surgery, to a point that maybe in some specific focuses, most of the reference he built by himself. And he's the most important researcher in some important topics, such as pancreatic fistula, for example. And he also loves to mentoring. He has many young surgeons and colleagues that really appreciate all his effort to do the best, and he really like and love to help these young people and help to build their career. And we can see here many other testimonies. One interesting one, maybe he often referred to pancreas as a safari. And he was told patient that we're going to a tiger country. But so badly he wanted to tell him that safaris were typical in Africa, and that they had lions but not tigers. And in summary, and after this very brief relate about Chuck's life, for what I understood, I'd like to summarize as he's a very disciplined guy, extremely professional, care a lot about his patients. He's very hardworking. He's a researcher and a mentor. He's a leader. He's a true leader for our association, for many other positions. He loves sports, enjoys music, and sometimes singing too. He has strong values. He pushes to do the right things. He's a good friend and a family guy. So with this, I invite Chuck Vollmer. Thank you.